What's up, everyone? It's me, Adam Prime, and we are back for the Blazing Toku Moviethon.
Sponsored by the Toku Brew Podcast.
And you know what we got this week?
Another movie?
Well, we watched it. You know what we have.
Yeah.
It's Ultraman Decker Final Journey to Beyond.
Finale?
It's final.
Finale?
It says final. It's spelt final. This isn't a royal or royale situation.
Finale.
It's final. Don't start me with this.
Definitely haven't been arguing about this.
And this is the week that Ultraman Blazar has come out. It has not come out as of this recording, but by the time this video is out, Blazar will be upon us.
Yeah.
So we thought it would be fitting for both a mixture of Ultraman Day, because if you've been watching the Toku Moviethon for all the video ones, I usually just kind of open up with Ultra, and then we go back. There will be more Ultra on this Moviethon, but we're going to be doing non-Ultra stuff next week. I can guarantee
So look forward
you
to that. But yeah, and Subaraya just has it for free on YouTube if you don't know already.
Oh yeah, Blazar. So go check out Blazar. We know we will.
They have subtitles and dubs. They have subtitles and dubs, actually.
Yeah, Blazar's getting a simuldub.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
I think it's releasing like
English
what,
dub
week later?
like a week or two after.
Yeah, so cool stuff, man.
That's really cool. We are, as an Ultraman fan, we are really, really blessed.
Yeah, Subaraya really knows what they're doing.
Well, yeah. Hell, this movie, this was not free, even though Ultraman Decker as a whole series is free. And if you actually want to know, like, low-key, both, like, I'm not shilling. This is just stuff if you want to know. I actually have reviewed this stuff on the table. I have reviewed the D-Flasher. And if you want to hear about us, how we felt about the show as a whole, week by week, you can go check out the Toku Brew Podcast This Week in Toku.
Yeah.
Which we legitimately talked about Decker from its start to finish.
Yeah, that was one of the first ones, actually. I think we actually talked about beginning to end.
Yeah. We definitely will be, like, we will be adding Blazar to that, and we are behind, and we do apologize. They will come out someday.
We'll get there eventually.
Someday. I'm stockpiling them at the moment, and I'm just going to kind of just release them when I have most of them done. Like, we're going through a restructure, you know?
We're
There's
trying.
only so much time in a day, man. Moving on, this movie, I loved it.
This was very good.
You can go check it out on UltramanConnection.com.
It's like $6.99, something like that.
$6.99 for 7 days. You can watch the movie for 7 days.
If you think of it as a movie ticket, that, especially since you're watching it you can watch it for a week, and again, we both watched it, so that's 2 people. It's pretty worth it.
Yeah. So it's overall, I think, a really well done experience. I did the same thing last year with Trigger. It's really simple to do, and on Ultraman Connection for free without having to pay anything, you can watch Decker, Trigger, and Zen. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it's kind of a good way. But
yeah, they also have fun, like, a little interaction sometimes, like, you fill out surveys asking, like, who's your favorite Ultraman? What's your favorite kaiju? It's really fun.
The movie even opens up thanking you for watching it on Ultraman Connection.
That was really sweet. That was
Ultraman
really sweet.
And Decker, Kanada's actor, and Dinas? I'm not sure how to pronounce her name.
I think it's Dinas because it's probably going after Dinah.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, they were thank you for watching it. And just
Ultraman.
being like, oh, they're so excited to be able to reach people all across the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Hi, we're on the other side of the world. You reached us. Hello.
They're not watching.
They're not watching.
And I'm gonna get one big thing out of the way. If you enjoyed Decker, go watch this movie. If you didn't like Decker, there's nothing this movie's going to do.
Because this movie is basically just more Decker.
It is more Decker.
Which is what I wanted, so I'm satisfied with what I got.
And there are certain things that we will get to that kind of surprised us, but I really did enjoy this movie. It's a year later from the ending of the Sphere attack from the Mother Sphere.
Yeah, everyone's moving up in life.
Yeah, and like I said, if you like, as much as I'd be like, oh, let's get into the characters, we already did get into characters.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah, we finished how these characters are again, so if you really do want to see us, just at least go watch our final thoughts. It will be, I did label it, you do know what it is.
Yeah, I think it's literally just called Decker Final Thoughts, right? Something
it's
like
like
that.
whatever week it is, and then yeah, I put it in parentheses.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I am happy to see that like everyone's kind of still training like the next gut select team and everything.
Yeah, and
Like,
oh my gosh, what's his name?
Which one, Raymond?
Yeah, Raymond, and he like got selected to be like the next captain.
I'm just like, yes.
Yeah, and everyone's
You're
just
seeing
like,
him move up in the world.
Yeah, you've seen him evolve.
Yeah, it's like the captain and vice captain will be stepping down. Obviously, the captain will be going back to training the school. I feel like the captain and the vice captain didn't do that much, but they were still badasses the whole movie.
Oh yeah, they weren't like useless in any way. Like they were still like useful.
Yeah.
They just weren't like prominent.
And we got to see a King Joe in this movie, which I'm realizing I could have had a King Joe vinyl on the table.
What a shame.
Too late. But yeah, no.
For shame.
It was really fun kind of opening because how did it? Was it just them doing the training stuff? Is that how it opened, or
I
did
think
we see
so.
Dinas
Yeah.
First.
Did we?
Dinas. Either way, I don't remember. Either way, let's go back to like we said.
I don't remember.
Raymond's getting to be captain. Ichika's gonna be going to space.
Yeah.
Like she's gonna be traveling in space, and as
because they're starting deep space exploration. That was one of the things that we saw when they were like hanging out afterwards. That it was like, oh, they finally reached past Pluto or something like that.
Yeah, like our research team, which I think they revealed that it was like Kengo and all of them, which I'm just like, oh, bye Kengo.
So long, Trigger.
You are gone to do whatever. And obviously Kanata still doesn't know exactly what he was going to do. I was expecting him to be back as like rice.
That's more what I was
the rice
expecting.
cracker?
And they did mention it. They said they were trying to make an expansion on Mars or something like that. Which
Yeah,
is cool.
Like
Glad to see him
something
moving.
that, I don't know.
Moving up.
But he's still training, and you can see that all of them, like as a team, have like a good relationship with their cadets, and I think that was really kind of fun and kind of makes you be like, oh, they've gotten bonds since the year we've been away.
Yeah,
and
they're
they've
not
grown, they're teaching,
and they're not like hard or anything. Like, you know, they're encouraging. They're telling them you can do it, and like, you know, they're calling them out by name.
Well, yeah, and then it's like everyone else is also so proud of Raymond being captain. Like, it's
everyone
so
was like
amazing.
super happy about it.
And it's like yeah, like everything's gonna be happening in a few months from now, and obviously the whole world goes to shit.
Of course.
Like, I don't know. Do we really want to give play-by-plays? But
not really.
But like,
because I don't feel like that's how this movie's really meant to be
No.
watched. Again, it just kind of feels like they took like 3 episodes of Decker and like the 3 last episodes of Decker, then squish it all into one movie.
It's like a mini like saga. Almost.
Yeah.
And long story short, yeah, I do think we opened up on like Dinas, like, and she was like fighting with all these aliens. We have like an alien pendant and like all the other random aliens. I don't know all the aliens' names in Ultra, but
Big Band.
oh yeah, can you name more?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, but I'm like, I know more by offhand than you. Ow. Why'd you have to get me in the eyes?
It's always in the eyes.
God, right in the optics. Either way, and we pretty much just see her being almost like a complete, almost badass, even though they say she's not that strong.
Yeah, she's not really strong, but like she uses the cards in really interesting ways,
she, like,
and she
absorbs the cards, and like you can see her. She has like telepathy or something, and like you see her get powers from it.
Yeah, she can like make new cards. She can like, in a way of like, oh, like here's some that do this thing, or like, oh, I got this from
like one
the
was
birds.
Just a bird. One was just a bird.
She's telepathic with like the birds and plants and animals.
Yeah,
but they can't. They said that they can't read human minds because the thought process is just too complex or something like that, which was kind of cool.
Yeah,
an interesting way of thinking about it.
And
makes perfect sense.
The relationship she gets with Kanata is
real wholesome.
Very cute.
Very wholesome.
And everything. It's like, I'm not sure if it's like love interest or friendship, but it was nice. I like to say. It could go either way, and I really don't care. And I just think their rapport was really fun. Like, he even was like, yeah, I used to be Decker. I can't transform anymore. And you can tell
But that doesn't stop me. Like,
yeah, exactly.
She does a weird thing where I think she like kind of teleports using a card or something, and then she like falls on top of him, and she's all weird and sniffing him like, you're different.
Yeah,
like
she could smell the Ultra on him.
Yeah, it was really funny though.
Well, yeah,
Kanata, like when she ran away, Kanata was just sitting there like, what just happened? It was really funny.
What is life? And yeah, we also get to see Hanejiro piloting Terraphaser several times in this movie.
Oh, that was so cool.
Which was pretty cool. And it's like, again,
Our
I just
boy.
like that it was more Decker. We gotta see, like, I don't know, we've been
I just
far
kind of miss
enough-
the characters, honestly.
Exactly. We
like
haven't watched this show in like several months, and it hasn't been on my radar. But like, I never realized, and I feel like we said this a lot in our wrap up. We never realized how much we do like this show because again, it was standing on the shoulders of like three almost giants.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to think it was airing during Dawn Brothers, Revice, Geats at its start.
Mm-hmm.
Like
The ending
I
of Dawn
like-
Brothers, the beginning of King Oger,
No,
essentially.
like right near the start of Dawn Brothers, like right like in the 13
Oh,
episodes.
right,
somewhere there. But like,
I got my timelines mixed up.
but like but it's like I really did enjoy it. I like these characters. I like to see where they're going. I like the path that they were going. Like, I like that they still had Kanata not being sure, not because he's like, I don't know if I could do it. He's just like, I want to do so much. He couldn't decide.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you see him be like, oh, maybe I should go back to the Rice Crackers. Maybe I should help the captain with the cadets and everything. Or maybe I could explore space. Like,
I mean, do you want to get like into any particular thing from this?
do we want to say how Dynas does transform into Ultraman Dynas?
Yeah,
the
yeah.
reason she's called Ultraman. We'll get to that in a little bit. I was wondering that, and I did research that. I
Okay,
do know
cool.
why.
Because I was wondering, because usually if it's a lady, they say Ultra Woman.
Yeah. But we then have like her fight, and she does okay against the King Joe. Kind of
Yeah,
gets her.
she's like physically not super strong, but she is
She
very
has the powers.
resourceful.
Like again, we were mentioning earlier. Like
Yeah,
even
like
in
she's
Ultra
constantly using like cards, if like for like yeah, she's really using what she has. So
form. Yeah, she like makes up with powers, I guess.
yeah, and I guess also like strategy.
Yeah. And we find out that she got her powers just because Dinah's light reacted to her weird.
Yeah, because he went and saved her planet or something, and she like died in the process. And like
Well, she
gave
didn't
her
die. She was like just
injured?
Like, everyone else died, and she was holding on to this thing. And they said it was like her strong feeling, her want to protect people, is what.
he like gave her his light, and then she like turned into an Ultra Woman.
Yeah, and she turned into an Ultra, which is very interesting. Is that Dinah doing mitosis?
Yeah, you were even talking about like, oh, does this basically count as a separate breed of Ultra
I would
at this
say,
point?
yeah, honestly, now looking at it, no matter how you're looking at this at the end of the day, I'm gonna say Dinah now has created a new breed of Ultra almost. Like you have the O50s, you have the M78 Ultras, you have like the Dark Giants.
There's just so many different ways
Leo's
of becoming
Galaxy.
an Ultra.
Like yeah, it's like
And this is just one of them now. It's
yeah,
just
exactly. It's like,
Dinah.
exactly. I think that's really cool because it's like all of them have that unique head crest. Like, Dynas, Decker, obviously Dinah. Like, and I'm wondering if it has anything to do with like the tube that he went through, like the light tube.
I don't know.
That his
One-
dad went through.
One thing we also talked about, and I don't really consider this a spoiler because nothing technically really happens. We're wondering if Dynas is like gonna end up together with Decker, if only just because like, oh, obviously he had descendants, therefore
Yeah,
he
like,
has kids at some
Who's
point.
Decker's great?
It would make sense if it was like him and her because like they both have that ultra light energy in them.
Yeah.
It would make sense if like them combined made a kid that
Well,
turned
yeah,
into
but it's
Decker.
like so much further in the future. It's hard to tell.
Well, yeah, but then it's like, and then they made a Decker, and then they made a Decker.
But yeah, no. And
It's a
overall-
triple Decker sandwich.
And I was really hoping maybe we would see Takeshi Suno in this. Sadly, no.
I really wonder what happened because
I
he
don't
was in
know.
so much of the
I would like
promotional
to know.
stuff.
Can somebody ask Takeshi Suno for me?
Takeshi
please?
Suno, please tell us
Please,
in the comments.
please. You're one of my. You're legitimately. I love the stuff you do. Please say hello
Inspiration.
at least. Think of me as a small boy, and not a large man in a
Please,
very
sir.
strange outfit.
Please, sir. I just want some kind words.
But yeah, no, I just enjoyed this movie. I think it very much did expand upon the world and pretty much gave us the origin of Decker's powers.
Yeah,
almost.
like we kind of, ironically, in the finale,
Um,
we see the beginning of how he became Decker.
Possibly.
Possibly.
We know time travel's involved, so it's kind of 50.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
And again,
Do you want
we
to
are
talk
going
about?
to get into spoilers. I'm just going to get into the spoilers.
All right,
now.
yeah. So this is we're gonna talk about the
Because,
ending
like,
and
what
stuff.
else do we want to say? It's like they go on the assault because everything gets captured. Obviously, They start doing gun battles, which was cool. Again, all of this was really cool, very well choreographed. And again, it just
some of the
looked
scenes
like
were
more
really
Decker
pretty.
episodes.
It was really pretty. Like there were times when like you could tell they had a little bit of a higher budget, and they just like made some really dynamic environments for everyone to be in. And it's not like just the Ultra in this instance. Like everyone's there. They're flying around on their stuff and. Like they're running around wondering what's going on.
Before we get into the big thing, then I want to talk about again. We're getting into very heavy spoiler territories and everything.
So if you have an interest in watching this,
go watch this, especially if you're a Decker fan. If not, leave now. You had your warning. We're about to talk. So after the captain and everything, and they lose communication with everyone after like this big fight, and they're in this sphere that makes everyone lose communication. Kanata, Dynas, and Ichika, and Raymond all are like together and they're like, what the hell do we do? And they're like, Raymond, you're in charge.
No, like everyone's like got like spirited away essentially. Remember?
No, I'm not talking about that's later. Oh yeah, obviously the whole monsters plan is like to steal everyone's souls and bodies.
Something like
feed
that.
them into monsters, I think.
I think they said that they were gonna like take everyone and then mix them with monsters and then put them back.
He wanted to rule the universe.
But he also wanted to destroy it in a beautiful way or something like that.
Because alien plot.
It doesn't matter that much.
Well,
but
pretty much, like they get.
Yeah, because like she's unconscious. Like, is that what you're talking about? Like.
No, this was the fight that they were in the cloud and everything. And
I see. That was a good scene.
Right after that, remember? And like that was they were like, oh, we can't communicate with the Nurse Daisy or the captain or anything, and.
But they know that it got attacked.
Mm-hmm. Like they know, and they pretty much tell Raymond, "You're in charge."
Yes, this is the scene I'm talking about. Just like, well, you're commander now.
Exactly, and
tell us what to do.
And you kind of just see him have this moment of not knowing what to do. He's literally like, we don't have any reinforcements for like a fact. He knows. He's like, we've already been captured.
Because it's like all of Japan that's affected at the moment.
Exactly.
He's like, and we have no weapons that can affect them.
Yeah, exactly. He's like,
what do we do?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh god, I had to think of something. Where it's like, he's like small breakdown if anything.
Yeah, you see Kanata just being like, you need to do something. He's like, I need a minute.
Give me a minute.
And like you kind of see them have this sweet heart to heart with him and Kanata. And again, like I loved again repeating a lot, but again this might be people's first time hearing it. I love the relationship between the main trio.
So much.
So good.
So much.
So again, they feel like friends. And I like it a lot, and if you don't believe that that's your problem with the show, I look at it differently.
That's fine.
And I really liked that moment. It shows that it's like, oh,
it's human.
He's human in a way, and it was really nice. And you saw him pull it together and just be like, let's fucking go. And then obviously, Bing Bang Boom, they save everything.
Kanata
dies.
Yeah. Straight up,
straight up.
Even Honeydew is just like, oh yeah, everything vital has stopped. He's dead. Like
and you literally see everyone: the captain, vice captain, Raymond,
Honeydew. It almost
Ichika,
broke me, guys. They all
and
are just sobbing.
Dynas joined later.
They're just
she was
destroyed.
Fighting a monster and got her ass kicked again.
They are destroyed, and
yeah.
Oh god, especially Raymond. Like you see that man break, and I'm just like, oh no!
You're like, don't start crying, cause I'll start crying, and then it's just not gonna.
I managed to not cry, but it got close.
But
it tugged on my heartstrings.
Well, yeah, and this is the moment you kind of learn where Decker's powers come from.
Yeah.
Is because Dynas comes in. And they both share the light, and they send it on to Kanata, and like even the cards that all of them.
And all of them, like put.
Well, yeah, they all put him and tell him to wake up. Even Honeydew, even his little floaty ghost was like right there.
He was there.
And they were like,
flying
wake
chicken
up.
Nugget.
And you see him literally just be like, and you see all of them fuse into Dynas's card, and it becomes Decker's card because apparently Dynas is an early form, a not fully matured Decker.
Yeah, what was the example from the movie we actually just talked about?
It's almost funny that we covered the Next right before that.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like the Next to Nexus. Like that's his later form in life.
It's just like an earlier form of it.
Apparently the designer compared it to Nexus in Amphis and Genus type, which the Next has as well. And it's very much the similar thought of like, it's the next evolution. And like, so Dynas wasn't Decker at his full power.
Also, side note, thank you to whoever made the Dynas suit. It basically just looks like a different purple Decker. It didn't look like
It looked
it's
like
not
a powered
like
down Decker
it.
almost.
It wasn't like a super like feminized version of
Because
it.
it wasn't designed that way.
Yeah,
Apparently,
it just looks like it was like tailored to fit a woman suit actor.
Well, no, yeah, like that's all it seemed like.
And
There was
like and
female
he had a
actors.
female voice. Like for the grunts and stuff.
Well, yeah,
like
'cause it was
pitched or
obviously
something.
her.
And but like it's like thank you. Like you don't need
Well,
to
the funny thing is, looking into the design,
appreciate
it was
it.
not designed female. Like that aspect of the script and everything was not done yet. So it was just designed to be a proto Deckard, which is cool.
You know, what? I like the fact that like the gender doesn't matter in it. It's almost kind of like a justice situation, like how you said.
Yeah, and
Ultraman justice.
it's good. And
It's
again,
really good.
Like, even though we didn't want it, we wanted to see Decker and Dynas team up. But
This
then them
that was what
revealing
I was trying to say. Of just like I remember you were saying like technically the ending of this movie had an ending that we didn't want it to have.
We were paused it and we're like, oh, I hope this isn't it.
Yeah.
And it was, and we were like, we weren't like, oh, and we were like,
somehow like
it won us over.
it won us. That's a really powerful thing for a movie to do that I think is like very underrated. Of we walk in thinking, I really hope it doesn't end this way, and it does end that way, but we walk away okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it convinced us that this was a good ending. This was an okay ending,
Yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah,
that's really weirdly impressive.
yeah, and obviously, Kanata's Decker again.
Yeah.
And we get a sweet fight, and we don't get to see dynamic type. He's just flash type.
Or Miracle. We thought that they were going into a Miracle. By the way, there was
oh,
sorry. Sorry. And there was like this one moment, usually like in the scene, like right after he's revived.
Scream it when he transforms.
No. Right after he's revived.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about.
He's like whispering to himself. What was he saying? Like shine bright or something
bright,
like.
Because it's like what he says right before he does
the flash. Yeah, and like he's just like chanting it and whispering it to himself, and you hear everyone else like join in.
Dynas, everyone.
That gave me freaking goosebumps because it was just.
Like, I think that's the moment that kind of won us over, where it's like, oh no, the power is back.
Because it felt a lot like. In the movies, like, this is the part where they'll just be like, Ultraman, you can do it! And they're like, yeah! And they're, like, yelling and cheering for him, and it, like, gives them their power up kind of thing. But this just felt more just like them just, like, silently having his back. You know, just like...
It was more personal. Mm-hmm. And I loved that. And, again, they technically gave us the ending we didn't want.
Which is essentially him, like, going off into space.
Like,
he's a captain, by the way. Hmm? He's a captain, by the way.
Oh, that's not until the end.
I thought we were talking about the end.
Well, yeah, no, because, at the end, he decides he wants to protect everyone's favorite things, and he's going to do even what Dinah did, but actually tell his friends and tell them that he's leaving.
So they don't cry about it for 15 years.
Like seriously.
Oops.
And he's gonna explore space, and he's the captain of like Ichika's research ship and everything that she's piloting, and him and Dynas are there, and their guts select, and they're going into space, and they're gonna find
off to others crossovers.
Exactly. I'm excited for that prospect though. Yeah. I hope we get to see like Ichika and Dynas every time we see Kanata back. Yeah. I honestly really do. And or at least hear him mention them in some way if he gets lost.
Yeah, I feel like at this point, like, again, maybe because of just, like, the time it came out of, I feel Decker's actually kind of underrated at this moment. I don't hear
anyone
talk about it, but it's like, this is a good show, and I feel like it deserves way more attention than it actually gets. Yeah. It's really solid. It's a good entry level.
What do you think of the monster? I can't remember the monster's name, but I do like the monster. Like the thing, I like that it had like the helmet and jet boosters.
Yeah, and like the cape.
Cool, but it was kind of just intimidating monster. I don't have that much to say on it.
Yeah, I feel like
even the new alien design that was like the professor, whatever his name is.
Oh, that's who I thought you were talking about.
No, I was talking about like the monster he made that had like the booster, like that.
The monster was really cool. I like how they did the different fusions. I liked like the techno dragon look when it had like the helmet and the shoulder pads. Of course, like the suit looks really cool as always. The actual, like, professor himself...
is okay.
Whatever. Honestly, I'm just like, sure.
It looks good. I'm not going to deny that. It looks really good, but I'm not going to be like, whoa!
Also, Dynas, I have to compliment very good acting on their end.
Yeah, they weirdly, we only had this character for this movie.
But like, I feel like they fit right in.
It's that meme where it's like, I've only had Dinus for 5 minutes, but if anything were to happen to her, I would kill everyone in this room and then myself.
Yeah.
Like, it's that meme.
Like, I feel like they just fit right in.
Well,
especially, like, you even see, like, a really heartfelt moment between her and Ichika.
Yeah,
the fact that we remember their names after all this time shows how much we liked this show.
Exactly. Like if you know us, we it takes us a little bit.
Lord Reginald. Or never.
Or we just have a nickname that fits so well that we refuse to say anything.
I think it's Nimaru.
It's Niramu.
Niramu. I've only just barely started to remember his name off the top of my head. That isn't Lord Reginald.
Lord Reginald.
It fit, okay. It fit really well.
No, do you have any other final thoughts? Like,
again,
I think all I can really say is I liked it. I'm excited for Blazar.
I feel
say that much.
I almost feel like you went a little too far with like, oh, if you're a big Decker fan, you should watch this. If you were just kind of like, Decker was fine, I don't really need any more. Yeah, definitely. Like, you can full on skip this one and you're totally fine. But I feel like you saying, oh, I feel like if you just watched Decker, like if you sat there and you watched the whole thing and you're like, yeah, I could go for a little bit more, it's still worth your time.
Well, yeah,
it's still worth the $7, you know.
Say. But again, if you're a huge Decker fan,
absolutely then. Yeah, you're getting more of what you want. If you actually, I'd like to say, like, if you like dislike this movie for any reason, I'd actually like to hear it because I'm curious.
And if it's for the reason that we almost did dislike this movie, we understand.
Yeah, especially if you're not like the biggest fan of the characters beforehand, or if you're not like the biggest fan of like the new character, I can definitely see how that would like.
Well, like that's what
sour
I'm saying. If
it a bit.
Somebody's mad that like Dinus didn't get to keep her powers,
or just doesn't like the character in general.
Yeah, exactly.
But like we had a good time.
Think of their design. How do you feel at the prospect of it being a proto Dyna? Again, this came out several months ago, but you know.
Where would you put? Yeah, where would you kind of rank this compared to the other movies you've watched so far?
The next was too good.
Like, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
If I'm like saying, I'm not comparing them back to back. I mean, maybe that's also why I'm in an Ultra mood because I saw 2 really good Ultra movies back to back. But like, the next is still definitely because again, like we said last week, that's just a good movie.
That was really solid.
Good Ultraman movie. This is a good Decker movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I couldn't see this any other way, but it's like, I can't... Like, the other one, I'm like, I can recommend to anybody.
Yeah.
This one, I'm like, you have to have watched Decker first.
Yeah.
You have to have watched the series
first.
Right.
I feel like this
or you just don't care.
This is a good bar. You know what I mean? Of just like of judging the other movies based off of it, because it's like, this was just a really solid movie. We went in like, oh, we just kind of hope it's more Decker, and we got more Decker. And, you know, it's like, if you like the show, you'll like the movie. You're like, just a very, like, good, solid, all-around good time. I feel like that's a good bar to judge everything off of.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is a solid second place for me as well. Just really good movie.
Not that
a little bit unfair that it was next to the next.
I have liked all 4 of the movies we watched this year.
Yeah, I've liked all of the movies so far. This is a solid second.
Knowing some of the movies I've picked for us to watch. But I think that'll be entertaining for me to talk about. I think you'll know those ones when I get to it. But yeah, no. I guess, do you have anything else?
No, I think I pretty much said my piece.
I like it. That's the ending. Yeah, but tell us down in the comments. Tell us your guys' thoughts. Did you guys rent this movie? Did you illegally pirate it? I see you there, pirates.
Support the official release so we can get more things here.
Well, exactly. Like, always support the official release.
When you can.
But I get it. Do what you can.
I don't know your life.
Well, yeah, exactly. We don't know your life. But yeah, no. Tell us your thoughts, and I guess
That's pretty much it.
I about to say I want to do it this time.
Okay, cool.
Hey, Bellarock, what was the movie?
Coming soon. Next week's movie is Kamen Rider Gates X Revice Movie Battle Royale. I think Ryuki's there. I don't know. Bye.